This week, in the world of Linux gaming, we've seen major new releases for open source gaming utilities. We've seen new games becoming Steam Deck verified, and the Steam Deck OLED is selling out regionally. Plus, there have been a few headlines that have turned out to be a bunch of bunk, and we'll cover all of that in this week's Linux gaming news. So according to PokePunch on Reddit, the Finals now works on Proton. The Finals is a free-to-play first-person shooter. Looks like a hero shooter, it's really not my kind of game, but it is cool to see an online shooter representing Proton support. Lord knows that there's a dearth of those right now on the Steam Deck. To get the game working, install it on your desktop or on Steam Deck, and then click the gear icon. Hit Properties, and then choose the Compatibility tab. Then check this box and select Proton Experimental. Now, if you've already tried running the game before and it didn't work, and it's not working now even after switching to Proton Experimental, try choosing Delete Proton Files from the developer menu of the game, and then launch the game again. And if you don't see the developer options, you need to go to your settings, choose the System tab, and then check the developer mode option. There's a lot of misinformation out there about what the developer mode does. This is completely safe to do, and it simply adds a few additional UI options throughout the Steam Deck's interface. Anyway, it's nice to see competitive online games having actual Proton support here. Hopefully this game gets verified soon. Speaking of verified games, so Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Is it Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 Remastered? Is it Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered? I don't know, it's a little confusing. Anyway, Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered has just been verified for the Steam Deck. Now the game's not out yet, it's coming out in February, but these are the 3 original Tomb Raider games which have been, quote, lovingly restored, with upgraded graphics, which you can switch back to the original graphics at any time. Now I hope that they have addressed the tank controls, because that's the one thing about the original Tomb Raider games that I don't miss. Using the D-pad to turn left and right, and then pushing up on the D-pad to move forward, boy howdy, do I find that quite annoying. Okay, so in Nvidia continues to suck news, they've released this version number of their new graphics driver. I'm not gonna say it out loud because it's a huge mouthful. Cool, new drivers, right? Well, it would be cool if we had any idea what was new about this release. According to Gaming on Linux, this is the 3rd time that Nvidia has simply copied and pasted the exact changelog 3 releases in a row. So this changelog that we see is not relevant to this release, it's relevant to this one. This is the first version where this changelog seems to be sourced from. So what's going on at Nvidia? I mean, honestly, who knows? All I know is that they continue to be one of the worst hardware vendors in the world. Now, Liam has reached out to Nvidia for comment and clarification, but as of the time of recording this, Nvidia has yet to respond. Okay, there's a new Decky Loader plugin. It's in beta right now. It's called RetroAchievements, but there's a catch. The catch is they are distributing this beta through Discord. I don't know how many times it's going to take for rational folks across the globe to have to say it, but Discord is not a file distribution service. Do not share files through Discord. Do not release your software through Discord. Anyway, you can install the beta plugin from Discord here, and you can try it through Decky Loader. And actually, it connects with RetroAchievements.org and uses the crowdsourced database of achievements for your favorite emulated games. So if you're a fan of earning like little gaming merit badges, and you've got your retro collection set up through Steam, this seems to be an excellent option for you. Now, my question is, what Decky plugin do you want the most? Are you even on the Decky plugin loader train? Why or why not? Feed the algorithm and leave a comment below. I actually read all the comments, or as many as I can. And while you're down there, why not get subscribed and like that smash button? It's the best way to tell YouTube you want to stay up to date with all the fun stuff we're doing here on the channel. You can also send me an email, questions@heavyelement.io. Ask a question, leave a comment, I might even respond to one video here. I also want to say thanks to the hundreds of folks who have pledged their support over on Patreon. Join the ranks, get access to exclusive content, and help me keep this show going. So, over the last few months, Capcom have declared themselves an enemy of fun by introducing Enigma DRM into their most popular titles. Enigma, designed by the Germans in World War II to encrypt military signals, is a means to protect, and emphasis on air quotes, protect, games from players having fun and prolonging the life of the title. Essentially, Capcom says that modding games is a form of cheating, and so they've gone out of their way to introduce software measures to make sure you're getting your recommended daily allowance of Capcom prescribed playtime and nothing more. Okay, now here's the thing. There were lots of reports and many headlines to accompany them about how the Enigma DRM is bricking Steam Decks and undermining the verified status of games. But the fact is, most of that's not true. I couldn't find a single instance. So I'm not defending Capcom's inclusion of DRM here. In fact, I think companies should be held criminally liable. I think it should be tantamount to fraud to have software get updates to people who have already purchased the software or even subscribed to it, which significantly degrades performance, especially if customers don't have a choice in applying the update. But guys, if we're going to complain about DRM, we don't need to lie about it. Enigma does degrade performance. There are plenty of issues with DRM, egregious, autonomy violating, and I'd even go so far as to say human rights abusing problems with DRM. Overreacting, lying, and spreading disinformation, we're better than that, and we don't need it. Next up, Boiling Steam is reporting that the Steam Deck OLED recently came back in stock in Japan, only to quickly sell out again. So at 4 a.m. on January 15th, the OnDeckJP Twitter handle said, quote, "Notice, party hat emoji, hashtag Steam Deck OLED, 2 models shipped to Japan are back in stock today. There's a limited number of restocks." And then about an hour later, they tweeted, quote, "Due to great popularity, the restock hashtag Steam Deck OLED is now sold out. The next shipment to Japan will be restocked around early February. If you would like to be notified as to when an item is back in stock, please register by clicking Add to Wish List." So it's pretty cool to see that the Steam Deck is selling well over there in Japan. I don't know if they were anticipating that amount of demand where the entire stock sold out in an hour, but hopefully they'll be back in stock soon and everyone who wants one can get one. All right, next up. So if you're an Ubuntu user, there's a non-zero chance that you've got Steam installed on your system through a Snap package. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't. See, the problem is Valve has nothing to do with the Snap package version of Steam. In fact, Ubuntu's parent company Canonical are the ones who have repackaged Steam here. So Timothy Bassett, a Valve contractor, said on Mastodon, quote, "Valve is seeing an increasing number of bug reports for issues caused by Canonical's repackaging of the Steam client through Snap. The best way to install Steam on Debian and derivative operating systems is to follow the instructions at github.com/valvesoftware/Steam for Linux and use the official .deb. We're not involved with the Snap repackaging and it has a lot of issues. If you don't want the deb package, please at least consider the Flatpak version." Now, the Flatpak version isn't officially supported either, and Valve has some concerns about performance due to the seccomp layer, but the moral of the story is, if you're on Ubuntu or another Debian-based distro, the best option is the official deb package from Valve. If you're on another distribution, check your official repos. If there's a native build, go with that. If there's a Flatpak version, that's the next best option. Okay, next up we have the latest release for Chiaki4Deck. This is version 1.6, and it was released this week, and it brought some great new features. Version 1.6.0 brings a touch-friendly UI and also implements controller navigation into the GUI. Now, the controller navigation is not 100% yet, but it is still a welcome addition here. There are other features too, though, like support for macOS and Windows using the libplacebo renderer, and now you can resume a connection from sleep mode on Deck. And you can also log into your PlayStation account ID via the UI. And then version 1.6.1 was released, and it has a few features and fixes as well. So you can now double click or hit F1 to enter full screen mode. There's a fix for macOS, and you now have the option to sleep the PlayStation when the Deck goes to sleep. Chiaki4Deck is such a neat project, and I'm a big fan if you can't tell. Check out the link in the description. Okay, next up, Lutris, the free and open source video game preservation platform, has a new release. Version 0.5.15. This version has several new features, including you can now open a location in your file browser from the file picker widget. You can now select, remove, and stop multiple games at once. Steam playtimes are now synchronized with the Lutris library, and there are various other fixes as well. Now, if you haven't already, I highly recommend you check out Lutris. It's a super valuable resource for the community for getting your older PC games, your emulated software, and other titles running on Linux and Steam Deck. It's a worthwhile project, and they're kind of at a funding deficit right now, so I highly recommend checking out their Patreon to support their work. Well, that's all the Linux and Steam Deck news I could find this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.